And then when you feel a little settled from that exhale, just gently make your way to your yoga space for today. All right, so I'm very excited about class today. It feels like a wonderful day because the weather has changed in our favor after all that extended cold and rain. Everything seems a little brighter and cheerier. So I think we can only enhance that with some movement and some love for our bodies. To begin today, let's stretch a bit. We'll take our feet outside our hips width distance. Reach up with our right arms, and then as you lean over gently to the left, give a little hug to your right ribs. Just feeling them opening there, envisioning some brightness and lightness coming between your ribs underneath your palm. Let that right arm sweep down, and as the left arm sweeps up, we'll give a little hug to the left ribs. Taking a big breath in and feeling maybe a little flutter of activity as you open up in the left ribs. And we'll move this with breath. So we'll sweep left arm down, right arm up, give a little hug. On your next breath, down, reach, and hug. Release, reach, and hug. Release, reach, and hug. Let's try 4 more, perhaps an in-breath and an out-breath. One more round of breath here. Inhale, exhale. Back through the center. As you stand, clasp your hands behind your low back. Stretch down with your knuckles, and let's toe heel our feet back in underneath our hips width distance. The bony protrusions in the front of our hips are our hips width distance. As you squeeze your palms together, flare open in your chest. Think that you could smile with your collarbones. Reach forward with your hands and step back with your right leg. Now, I just like to reach forward to have a little counterbalance. As we step that right leg back, we'll try to plant our heels and then reach like you're really reaching for something precious. Get a big stretch through the back of that calf. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, draw your back leg in slowly. See if you can stand on one leg and grab the top of your right foot. Quad stretch. So as we find this, we'll stretch up with our left arm. If you're feeling very wobbly, keep it out wide for a little extra balance. But to enhance the right thigh stretch, we're going to tuck our tailbones down. That is a big difference, right? And then we'll give a little action with our left foot. Oh, excuse me, our right foot. Push that right foot into your right hand. That's the way. One more big breath in here. As you release left fingers down, right toes release slowly. Give both legs a little shake. Get tired on one leg. You might like to turn your toes under. I like to give them a gentle little press into the yoga mat on each side. And speaking of toes, we're going to do a little toe work just to bring some awareness to our feet. As you set your feet back down flat, you can look at them or not, but we're going to try to leave our arms long and our fingers soft. Sometimes our fingers do what we're asking our toes to do, so be mindful of that. Lift and flare all 10 toes out. They feel spacious and light. Hopefully they're elevated from your yoga mat. Push down just your big toe. I know that's hard. We're keeping the other 4 toes lifted. But I think the harder part comes next. Lift your big toe, press the other 4 down on each foot. Just check. We're going to try to lift that big toe straight up towards our kneecaps, not over the other toes. Let's try to move as quickly as we can. There's no rush, but we'll try to move here with breath. Inhale, big toe down. Exhale, 4 toes down. Big lifted. It's fun, isn't it? It's challenging, but fun. Exhale. Let's try that once more. So our homework for when we're working at our desks, take a mindful break every now and then and try to work on your toes. Great job. Shake them out. Let's go big step back with our left leg. I like to push a little forward. I think about Sending the foot flat and then pushing forward to enhance that stretch. Like there's something so precious right there that you just like to grab onto. Take a huge breath in, try to send it all the way through the bottom of your left foot. And during that exhale, lightly spring up to standing just on your one foot. Try to catch the left. Beautiful. And then stretch high to the sky. Now we'll give a little extra love for that thigh. Tuck tailbone. Find some activation between your left foot and hand. I like to do a little soft kick into the hand. Little kick makes a big impact, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Let that go softly. Well done. Shake out everything. You can curl your toes under if they need a little break after all that work earlier. That's so much better. Okay, we're going to connect to our breath here. Feet may be a little wider than hips for your stability, but toes forward because optionally we'll squat in a moment. Just the arms to begin. Like you're scooping up the most love in the whole world. Bring it into your heart center. Send it forward. Push out some to me. Push out some to your friends and family. Take some back. And then send the rest out to those of us in your community. Pushing down. So we're going to scoop up. Lots of love for you. Push away a little for me, a little for your loved ones. Back to you. And then to everyone else that we love and adore. Press. Option as we scoop up, our heels rise. Press away, heels float back down. Here our heels can rise as well. Let's think of every in-breath, our heels rise. Heels melt as we press away. Okay, my evil laugh just came in because in a moment, we're gonna optionally add some squats. Inhale, heels rise. And press. All right, the squat comes on the exhales. Inhale, scoop, lift heels. Exhale, press. It does not have to be a big squat, just whatever feels good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. So when I add all of the things, the heel lift and the squats, I slow down to the best of my ability so it doesn't feel as challenging. Pull in. Ease out. 2 more rounds. I love this breath connection. Big in. Easy out. 1 more round, just like that. Swoop. Press. Lift. And release. Excellent job. Standing softly. Palms forward, shoulders rolling back and down. Maybe even flaring a little in your chest and your back. So as I roll back, I'm going to push my chest forward. As I roll forward, I'll open my back a bit. Like we're doing some baby cats and cows on these very nourishing shoulder rolls. With your breath, 1 breath per circle. Would it feel okay to switch direction? I know it's a challenge. It's not my favorite thing to do. Sometimes I remind myself that what is challenging for our mobility is probably where we might need to focus a little extra. We don't love it because it's not super easy and comfy, right? So let's try to get through these forward circles together. Okay, how about 1 more? All right. That felt better. Let's release down. Set them back intentionally again. So I'll shrug them up. Pull them back like the bottom of your blades come together in a soft V. Opening the bottom of your blades. Stretch skywards. Inhale here. As you exhale, let's float down to as bent knee of a forward fold as it feels good for our bodies. Bent knees make things a bit more accessible. They bring the ground up to us. And it's a little less intense for our hamstrings since we've just started here. While you're hanging, just get used to all that sensation that's now coming into your face, your skull. Lots of energy coming in there, yeah? And we'll just take a couple of lifts and lowers. On your next inhale, rise up to halfway. Really find a sense of length from your nose to your pubic bone and width from one side of your body to the other. Exhale, fold down. And let's try that 3 more times. Big breath in, long and wide. Release on any exhale. 2 more. If we don't need to reach our fingers onto the shins for support, we could stretch them back. Float down when you're ready. Inhale, float wide and low. Exhale, release. As you get down, widen up your feet just a little bit and take a swivel around towards your right pinky toe. You might like to bend your left knee a whole bunch. Optionally, just staying here, finding that yummy twist, or we can land the left hand and stretch open with the right. Maybe it reaches to the wall or to your ceiling, whatever feels nice. Release back down, and as your nose finds the center, we'll swivel on over to your left. Just pause for a moment, check in and see how you feel on your right side. As you bend your right knee, you may like to lift up through your left arm. Lovely little twist here. Connect with your breath, top of head to tailbone, lengthening as you inhale. Eyes and left fingers down on your exhale, nose back to the center. Let's clasp our hands behind our low backs. Rest your thumbs on your low back, and whatever thumb habitually landed on top, let's move it. The opposite one comes over, and all the rest of your fingers shift by one. Soften your toes, knuckles rise skywards for a nice rinse out in your shoulders. Try another big, beautiful breath in here. And during your exhalation, fingers find your low back. They slide all the way down to the floor gently. And we'll just lift halfway so we can get our heart rate and blood pressure normalized. When you feel really good, step back with your right leg. We'll set ourselves down into a kneeling lunge and then move both hands inside your left toes. If you're uncomfortable on a hard surface, roll the edge of your mat up or place something soft under your knee so you can feel good while we're moving here. Bringing left hand to the inside of left knee, starting a tiny twist towards your thigh. This feels good. You can stay right here, or if you want a bigger twist, reach to the sky. Drape that left arm around your low back. Take a bigger peek into your twist. I always find that once the arm is out of the way, you have much more chest opening mobility. Come on back into the center, but let's frame that left foot again. And if your foot stepped wide, wiggle it back into the center. Shifting your hips back into your half split. Sometimes we don't feel so great landing immediately. So if you'd love to move a little out and in to find your way today, all movement is invited. Join me in stillness, or perhaps you're swaying through your hips. You can move any way in your toes. It's a new way to experience these stretches, literally from different angles. One more breath. We're directing our hearts forward towards our left toes to get a really lovely hamstring stretch. And as you make your way back forward, we're going to find that low lunge, bring hands inside, left foot again, and step it just out to the side. Really nice. Okay, we're twisting again. Guess that's the name of our game today. When you get your hands under your nose, we'll open up with our left arm, twisting towards the left toes. Soften your left knee and flat in your left foot, giving your inner thigh some love. Coming on under the right elbow for thread the needle. Now, I like to land my hand and then I'll walk my right arm a little forward, so there's some extra space there. We're threading and landing with our left temple down, and I like to bring my right hand to stretch out over top of my left. Soften that left knee. It wants to go straight and locked, so let's be really mindful and taking good care of our joints. Bringing your right hand somewhere near your nose so you can boost back up. Stretch back into your lifted twist, and then land everything back down. Hands under your shoulders. Yogis, listen quickly. Left knee will go behind the right knee. Now, in order to get there, it's a little awkward at first, so we're probably going to have to find table. Bring that right knee more to the center, then crisscross behind. Finding some funky cats and cows today. Exhale, roll up. Find your angry cat, take a peek at your belly. And it's a little more challenging with crossed legs, but we'll try to tug our tailbones down. Inhale, belly opens, tail and the crown of your head rise. Eyes stay fairly low, so we're being safe in our neck. Exhale, curl belly up and in like you're scooping it out. Inhale. I like this. It's like a hug for our thighs. Exhale, curl. Inhale, open. Okay, this is where we're gonna get really funky right here. We are sitting down, yogis. So your legs are in cow face pose. Walk your hands back, widen up your heels, and have a seat. I made that look easy, but I recognize it's not. So if you're feeling too tangled up, right knee can stay bent, but your left leg could straighten. Half cow face pose. Okay, so wherever you are is perfect. You know your body best. Listen and move intuitively today. We really do want to try to get our right sits bones down. If that's too challenging and it's lifted, we just slide something under, a little blanket or a little pillow. We're looking to stretch our outer right thigh, hip, and glute. You feel it? I know I do. You might not need to go anywhere, but if you would like a little extra, you fold forward, but try not to disconnect from that sits bone. It's nestled into your support or your floor, the right side. Wonderful job. Come on down. We're going to hang out for a couple of breaths here. Try to unclench your jaw. I know that when the stretches feel really intense, especially at the beginning of practice, sometimes we grip and we hold on tight. Try to let go of that, yogis. Bringing your hands to a useful space. I usually put them about shoulder width to help you up to seated. So we're just going to try to swing around and come back to table this way. I'm going to turn to my left, swing my right leg back around. I'm in tabletop. And then yogis, we want to step forward with your right leg. Okay, we're back in kneeling lunge. It might be mini, so we want to probably send that left knee back a little bit, right? Both of your hands are inside your right toes. And we could just hang out here, or you could add a little twist. Right hand to your knee, take a peek at your fingers. Some folks will like to turn out those toes. That's cool. Remember, we're intuitive. Whatever our bodies need is what we take. Stay as you are, or maybe you stretch to the sky with your right fingers. And let's all wrap so we can get a really big twist. Right arm drapes around your low back. Then you might find a bit more, my favorite yoga word that I made up, I think, swivelability. Looking towards your back toes here. Unswivel, come back to the center, but let's move that foot, right foot inside our hands now, right on about middle of the mat. Take a shift back. You can pause right away, or you might need or want a little extra moving to take you to your half split. I always slide my front leg forward in half split, but remember, yogis, that the chin wants to follow. We try to stay really long in our torsos. Would you like to move through your hips? Feels really challenging for me on this side. When we find something like that, we approach it with love and kindness. There's no judgment or criticism that we're giving ourselves today. It's a safe space. Really love your body. It is amazing. You might like to move through your front toes. And when this feels like it's enough, we're bringing our hands back inside the right leg, and then we'll just slide it right out to the side. So from the side here, yogis, your right knee is bent, just a micro bend, so it's not locked and hyperextending. Hands are about underneath your nose, and we're going to open to the right. Right arm sweeps up to the sky. There's a lot going on in this stretch. Breathe to your right inner thigh. Breathe to your left outer hip. And then all through your spine for this really big twist. And when you get ready, we're landing and thread the needle. Right arm comes under. Now, you might need to adjust your hands here. We're going to try to settle down onto our right temple. That might have to land on a support if the floor feels really low. And take your arm wherever it feels good for you. I'm going to lay my left arm over my right, taking some time to breathe energy through our inseams on the right side. Try one more big breath in. And somewhere during an exhalation, move the left hand by your nose so it'll help you reach back to the sky, reopening. It's okay if you needed to adjust. You can bring your hands down and then stretch up. Fully exhale to release back to gate. And then we might again need to adjust the left knee, but we're going to crisscross that right knee now behind the left and sit back. Sometimes I'll come to the table, adjust the left knee to the center, and then it's easier to crisscross. And not to be crude, but sometimes for the men, this can be a really uncomfortable position. So if you find something that's not working for your body, just kind of open it up a little bit. So a half lotus position, or even just crisscrossed legs can help you get into this left leg. Remember your option of the lower leg being straight for half cow face, and we are grounding our left sits bone. So we feel some sensation. Yes. Right there. All right. Belly lifted and in, breathing. And the best you can, floating forward. Even if it's a minuscule amount, it might feel much different. I always love to try to tuck my chin. Let the back of my neck hang really open. I drop my jaw open and try to hang heavy through the bones and the skin on my face. Let's try one more big breath in. And on your exhale, we'll sit back up. This one's uncomplicated. We are going to uncross our legs and shake them out. Lean your hands back behind you, thumbs out, fingers away, and just take your legs straight. Literally give them a little jiggle, a little tick-tock in the toes, point flex, maybe circle around a time or two each way in your ankles. Felt pretty good. All right. Having a cross-legged seat for sure, right shin in front. Lift each cheek and move the flesh away so you feel very grounded. And from here, we're just going to take a few neck stretches. Let's take your right arm around, forearm around your low back. Now, options, you can keep it just like it is here, or we can clasp our hands. And as you clasp your hands, you'll try to wiggle your wrist to the left side of your wrist. Give it a good wrap around here. And then we'll stretch over with the left ear, lengthen through your neck, and allow it to fall to the left shoulder. Now, sometimes we get a scary face on. Our eyebrows get really big. This is intense. So let's become expressionless, soft, and gentle in our faces. Possibly exploring a little downward with the chin towards your left collarbone can feel really good to get into the back of your neck here. Taking another big breath in. And as you exhale back to the center, release everything. Hands, arms, just relax them down. And then look a little side to side. Take a big breath in, a big breath out. One more time, same thing. Lean hands back. Shake out through your legs. Jiggle, jiggle, tick-tock, circle. Left shin is in front of the right. It's going to take a sec to work out your hips. Try to open where the sits bones are, so there's no flesh underneath. Comfy? All right, left forearm behind your low back. You can just keep it like that. Or I like to try to wiggle my fingers way to the right, clasp hands, and then wrap around the right side ribs. Oh, it's big. All right, here we go. Long neck sides. And then right ear tips to the right. And do you have a funny face on like me? Really shocked? Because it's a big stretch. Soften your face. Maybe even close your eyes. Unhinge your jaw a little bit and settle here. If it feels good, explore some downward. Right shin towards your right collarbone. Wherever you go, yogis, don't forget that our primary goal in class is breath. We love to connect our breath with our body movements. So if you go somewhere and you find that you start to hold your breath, let's ease off a little bit. Come on back to me. Release everything down. Sometimes our elbows, our shoulders can get kind of cranky, so shake out anything you need. And then the slowest motion, know that you can find to just reset for your neck. Excellent. Okay, and we're gonna get our digestive juices flowing before we get flowing ourselves. Work your sits bones back again. If you feel more comfortable on the other leg, you can switch. We're just gonna keep this cross-legged position and allow our tented fingers to land lightly at our sides. Now sit really tall and draw your navel in. Take a breath in slowly. As you exhale, we're gonna make a big circle with our navel. Go left, circle over your right knee, come back to seated, keep traveling. Inhale, one circle. Keep going the same way. Exhale, the next circle. As you move here, yogis, can you try to keep your sits bones connected? We're really trying to work mobility into our spine and give our organs a lovely little squeeze. Helping them work efficiently is the goal. Now, some folks like to switch the legs before they switch sides. So if you would like to, well done, listening to our bodies. When you're ready, we'll start a breath and traveling to the right, over the left knee and back up. Beautiful inhalation for one circle. Full out breath for the next. Let's try about two more. If this feels so wonderful to you, please continue. There's never a reason to rush on to our next exercise. Really proud of you, yogis. All right, let's lean back. Let our legs uncross themselves. Give them a little jiggle jiggle. Ah, it's nice. I like to move them around. I like to hear some cracks. I know I've created some space in my joints when organically they start to pop a little bit. There we go. And when you're ready, bend your knees. If your hips feel kind of funky from all that, let's give a little tick-tock. And eventually, when you feel good, your goal will be to get to tabletop. Doesn't matter which way, just turn away. Find that table. All right, we're back. Tuck your toes and rise your hips this time. Let's find our downward facing dogs. Now, just like that first forward fold, this can feel a little discombobulating. So take a moment here to do whatever feels right for you in the moment. Just get used to all that blood flow rushing to your brain. It'll help you energize, become more productive and focused today. It's a really good thing. And some yogis believe that getting upside down is like nature's Botox. It's very effective, I guess, for getting some wrinkles out. So I'll hope for that too. One more big breath in, my friends. And as you exhale, eyes to thumbs, tiptoe, slide, or step your feet all the way back to forward fold. Let's take a lift, rolling ourselves to rise. And we're gonna work through a little flow, incorporating our balance and our strength right into our sun salutations today. Hug your left knee, give it a squeeze, both hands. Your shoulders are relaxed. Just getting used to balance here. Right hand can hold anywhere on this knee, and we're gonna swim open with the left arm. Take a big stretch, fingertips and eyes, if you're really brave. Eyes to the back wall. Back to the center, come the other way. Left hand is the holder, right arm the opener, eyes follow right fingers. Come on back to the center. Step that left leg back as gently as you can, and let's see if we can place it right flat for warrior one. Swivel hips towards me, reach up. Take a big, beautiful breath in to connect with your length here. Turning it into a high lunge, lifting your left heel, high-fiving yourself overhead, and then dropping thumbs to nape of neck, elevating your elbow points, feeling a beautiful stretch through the back of your upper arm. Re-reach skywards, my friends. Release all the way down, frame out your right foot, step back, downward facing dog, And for 2 breaths, do whatever feels great in this stretch. Stillness or movement. Take a look forward. Find your plank position on your inhalation. And then as slow as that out breath floats out, we descend. Elbows hug the ribs. We lie flat on our bellies. Push through your toes. Wipe them back. Get a good stretch. And then extend as far as you can through the bottoms of your feet. Bring hands to about middle rib cage. Hug elbows back in. Inhale long and strong. As you exhale, push through your hands, lift a little bit or a lot, whatever floats your boat. Back bending here. Inhale, settle back down. Exhale, press back, child's pose. After a big back bend, I like my knees to be fairly close so that I can really open up that lower back that we just strengthened. Shifting on back up to downward facing dog, hips high. Left leg elevates, yogis. Take a big breath in and just pause. Maybe we could lift it to hip height. Does that feel good? Push away through the bottom of your foot. Optionally bending at your knee and fanning or yawning your left hip open. Take a beautiful breath here. When you're ready to exhale, eyes at your thumbs. Make a little space under your chest to step that left foot forward, planting your right foot as we rise up to warrior one again. Big, beautiful stretch in. On your exhalation, high five, thumbs to nape of neck, stretch even taller. I like to think about really whittling in from the waist and wiggling as tall as I can make my torso. Beautiful job. Reach to the sky, back heel rises, pause. We're gonna try to pick this knee right up. Standing, knee lift, just like we started with, but we're switching knees. You ready? Don't think, just go. Big hug. Ooh, that's fun. Get used to your balance again. Twist to your right. Right arm will open, eyes following if we're being extra brave in our balancing today. Through the center when you're ready. I like an inhale. Open up on that inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Hug and release. Well done. Woo. Okay, you might need to shake out a little bit. Sometimes I like to sway my hips or hands on hips and give them a big circle around. Once each way. If you'd like more, take it. Great, great job. Let's come back to center. Heels under hips with distance, arms rise, big breath in. Floating down to your forward fold. Balance starts here, yogis. From your forward fold, we're gonna lift our heels. Now check in, making sure our toes aren't clawing into the mat. They might even feel quite liberated. Maybe they're wide and a little floaty from the mat. Ball your foot and the blade edge are doing the hard work here. If you can stay off your heels, we're taking a baby squat. Reaching our fingertips back behind us. Nice counterbalance there. And then hug your navel up towards your spine, supporting your low back as you make your way to dancer's pose. Oh, sorry, not dancers, diver's pose. Lifting your knees up towards your thighs, legs as straight as it's comfortable for you. And then we take our eyes and peek right at the tips of our toes. This pose is so cute. The thinking is that you're on the edge of a dock. Your toes are hanging over the edge and you just want to see what's under this dock before I dive into this water. Fingers down, heels down, forward fold. Take a minute to recover there. Great job, friends. All right, let's move on. Go to the top of your mat if you're not there yet and slide your right leg all the way back. Land flat. For warrior two, windmill all the way up, and then straight back to sun warrior or reverse warrior. So we're gonna go from this low lunge back to this sun warrior a bunch of times. Watch me if you're not sure. We'll windmill down, low lunge, back heel lifts, plant, windmill up, sun warrior. It doesn't have to be fast. Let's think about an inhale for the sun warrior and an exhale for our low lunges. So wherever you are, join me when you can. Breath comes in. I like to call it Sun Warrior because I think about the sun being in the palm of my left hand and I place it high in the sky. Windmill down, low lunge. 2 more. When we practice the Warrior 2 lower half, left knee is pulling out towards your baby toe. 1 more, big round. Really nice. Lift, lift. And then a soft release. Finding that lunge, stepping back to downward facing dog. Taking your time for 2 breaths, taking good care of yourself. On your next inhalation, let's roll ourselves forward. Take a big, beautiful breath in your plank. And as you softly exhale, we descend to lie on our bellies. Press out through your toes. And we'll make a pillow, yogis, one hand on top of the other. Forehead rests on the back of your hands. So this time we're just gonna lift our lower bodies. Toes, knees, and thighs rise. You can stay right here, strong and long. Option with me, turn your toes out and start to try to click your heels together like they did in the Wizard of Oz. But we're gonna do more than 3. We're gonna click, click, click. And my heels don't touch, just an FYI, but the thinking is there. Energy in, toes turn out, legs elevated as you're squeezing, but they're still pushing long away from your hips. 4, 3, 2, and drop toes. Well done. Shift your hips side to side before you even move out of here. Loosen up your back body. And when you're ready, push on back, child's pose. Might like your knees closed to really open up the low back as you rest on top of your thighs. In your time, my friends, let's rise. We'll find our dog. Might feel a little discombobulated. If you do, take as long as you need. And on an inhale, we'll lift our right legs. You lift to wherever it feels nice. Bend at your knee, optionally opening up through your hip. Bringing your knee back to face the floor, looking at your thumbs and stepping right back to Warrior 2. Left foot is the angling down foot. So remember how we go. Reverse Warrior to low lunge, right? So we'll start when you're ready. Inhale, no rush. Try to match your movement with the exact length of your breath. Exhale, bend. That back heel will rise. We come back to a low lunge. Inhale, windmill. Exhale, release. A little heat building, a little challenging for those right leg muscles, yes? Yeah, I got a good burst of flames in my right thigh going on right now. It's hard. The slower you move, I believe, the stronger it is. 2 more. It's okay if you need to take a rest. You do whatever nurtures your body, mind, and heart today. And then when you make your way back down to your low lunge, we'll step our back legs forward, hang out in your forward fold. And yogis, we're still balancing, so we're gonna lift again. Now this one's a little bit different. Lift up through your heels and try to sit down, hips on heels. You can stay just like this in our crouch position, or if you'd like tiptoe stand, climb to your thighs. Thighs are parallel to the ground, chest lifted, shoulders over your hips, arms anywhere. Some folks like them at heart, forward or overhead. And if possible, we're gonna rise out of the balls of our feet. Our heels are lifted, right? If you don't want to, go for a forward fold and roll up the normal way. But if you'd like, on an exhale, use the power of that breath to stand slowly. I know it's hard. Slowly, the full duration of that exhale if you can. Let your heels melt. Hands melt. Oh, that was challenging. Shake out your legs. The whole leg is burning on both sides now, right? Woo-wee. All right, good work, my friends. One more round for each side. Big breath in. This time we start with the balances up here. Star pose. Let's lean left. And as you lean left, make sure you've got room on that left side. We'll lean so much that we lift our right legs. Pointed toes go really long. We're just going to modify this. Right arm reaches along your thigh. Right knee bends. Can you catch the top of that foot? It's okay if the answer is no. And if the answer is no, you're just going to keep on keeping on. If you can catch it, just like we started with, we'll just give a little kick. Feels nice. Now we're going to try to transition this to dancer's pose. So we'll stand up. Right hand now does grab, if possible, the top of your foot. Could you catch the inner arch side? That'll help your shoulder stay really open. And if you're unable to reach, yogis, you'll still go through the motions, but you'll just keep trying. Reaching forward with the left arm as we kick right foot into right hand. If you'd really like to reach, but your hand just can't, you can always use something along the lines of like a soft belt, a soft dog leash, or of course, if you have a yoga strap, that would work as well. And if possible from here, we're landing. Left fingers, right fingers. Extend your right leg back. Square your hips for supported warrior 3. Drop your right foot all the way back. A low lunge. You may need to resituate yourself depending on where you are in your space. And step back to downward facing dog. Well done. Take a wiggle, stretch out. Come forward when you're ready. Inhale, plank position. Exhale through your chaturanga. And as you find it, yogis, we're going to add the top and bottom together. Lift your toes, knees, and thighs. Slide your hands back to about middle rib cage and hug your elbows in. Hover your hands if possible. You can keep using them to press if you need. Full locust pose. Be soft in face, open in fingers and toes. One more breath here. Exhale, soften down. Maybe you shake your hips a little like a bowl full of jello and then press away. Child's pose. Coming on up, we find dog. Right leg will rise. With the open hip this time, if you take it, you might like to also look under your right armpit, just giving a little bit more of a twist open. Eyes look back at your thumbs. Square your hips and step forward, followed by your back foot. We are back and forward fold. Hang out heavy. Then when you're ready for your inhale, roll slowly or hinge. Reverse swan dive to get back to extended mountain. Welcome back. One more round. Are you ready? Let's lean to the right. You might want to be mindful that you have space. You don't bonk the wall. As you lean to your right, your left leg escapes. And we'll point those toes so we feel long. That's it. Remember the beginning breath of finding width through your ribs? Try that again too. Left hand floats along your left thigh. Left heel to butt. Maybe we catch it here, holding on to a modified star pose. As you come to standing, we're working it to a dancer. So I feel that the shoulder's facing forward here, right? But if you hold the inner arch, notice how big the shoulder opens up and back. Yeah, that's really nice. It's a little bit easier, but challenging to find. So you choose what feels good for your body and what's accessible. Let's do it. We're going to reach forward with our right fingers. Kick with your left foot. Find a sense, yogis, of long between fingers and toes and upwards. Beautiful. Right fingers float to the earth. And once you've gotten your left fingers down, extend through your left leg, square your hips, and try to find supported, thank goodness, warrior 3. I'm not that mean. I won't put us into a warrior 3 after that big balance. Step on back. If you're a little wonky in your space, situate yourself in low lunge. And let's push back. Downward facing dog. Move with me when you're ready. Roll forward. Take a big inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Slowly float with your breath. Send everything long. And let's reach back. Reach back towards our baby toes. Spin your thumbs to the sky and your palms out. Bend at both of your knees. If you have cranky knees, flexing through your feet can be really helpful. And if it feels good, you could catch your shins inside, outside. We can catch the tops of our feet, just really whatever our body enjoys here. Taking a moment in a bow pose. Relaxing on an exhale. Let your toes stretch out long, hands by your middle rib cage. Press yourself back in child's pose, but here we stay for a moment. Might like knees together because we're going to move on the diagonal. Let's walk our hands to the right. Left hand might cover the right, and then we'll pause, trying to pull our hips a little to the left. Breathing up and down the left side body. Slide over to the left with your arms when you're ready, yogis. Right hand might like to land on top. Hips will slide to the right side. Just try to soothe out that right side. Big breaths up and down. Over and under all your ribs. Slide on back to the center. Then put yourself up into table. Having a seat. Finding your hips off to any side. And sitting down in bound angle pose. Now, if you find that your hips are still really tight and your knees poke to the sky, put some comfy things, pillows, blankets under your knees. The soles of our feet, really the blade edges, are together. The inner arches can be open towards the sky like a great book. And you choose, it could be close to groin or far. No set way, whatever feels good is good. Definitely though, move your backside so the flesh is out from your grounded sits bones. Yeah, and then we're just gonna lean a little side to side, using the weight of your upper body to try to help the hips open gently here. I like to lean, but then I kind of rock a little forward and back. One more breath, and when you're ready, you'll sit up. Keep your legs for now. I'm just gonna move back, stay where you are. Just the right leg will stay here, and we'll send our left legs out long. Take a big stretch to the sky. Really, really reach up here. Open your body. Inhale, and as you exhale, float over your left knee. Still a little soft, always gentle in the joints. As you bow down here, try to bring that sense of total relaxation to your skull. Facial features expressionless. Come on up. When you're ready, take an inhale. Swivel towards your bent knee. Grab it with your left hand and stretch up with your right arm. Now you can stay right here. This is a challenging one. We're gonna finish this side with a big side bend. So if you'd like, you'll be reaching towards your left toes. That doesn't mean you have to grab them, but if they happen to be accessible, and as you find it, you're able to really breathe, quality breaths, nothing changed with the way the breath is moving, then go for it. Taking another big inhale. And as you exhale, right arm back and down, left arm up. Left arm back and down. Right knee to chest. Straighten that leg out and then draw left knee in. Let that one fall open for your seated tray. And then we might need to readjust our backside, right? Yeah, so you're real comfy, you're really grounded, recharging your hips. Good work, yogis. Inhale. As you exhale, swivel chest towards your right knee. Try to float down, soft in that knee, heavy in your heart. sending everything into a state of release. Rising up when you feel ready. I like to bring my hands about shoulder width. Give yourself a little boost. Swivel to your left knee. Right hand will hang on this time. And we're definitely going to stretch up. This twist feels good, right? Well, if you want to make it challenging, you can add the side bend. So we'll go on over towards our right foot. If you decide that you'd like to grab it, just make sure that you're still feeling open and swiveled in your chest, but that your breath is really flowing. Left hand reaches down, right arm reaches up. Right arm reaches back and down. Left knee elevates, and we just send the legs out long. Point, flex, circle around. Jiggle in your knees. Just give yourself a little release. All right, so my friends, if you have to leave early today, it's 1:56. If you're staying, I wanted to finish class today with a little bit of breath work. A little different than we normally do. I know we typically move to the end, but if you'd like to join me for breath work, I've been finding this one very useful lately. Been using it a lot when I'm driving because I don't know if it's just me, but I seem to encounter a lot of stressful driving situations. So this has really gotten me through lately. Find any seated position. I've chosen Thunderbolt. And we'll try to settle our arms somewhere really heavy, but maintain an erect spine, just not rigid, not stiff, just really long. Beautiful job. Inhaling steady. And then on the exhale, we'll start 3-part breathing where we release a little bit of breath, pause, a little more, pause again, fully release your breath and pause before the cycle restarts. Now, my advice, my humble advice, slow breathing, because sometimes you suck in too much and then you can't wait to get it out. And if you blow out too much, there's no time to pause. So we'll really try to slow our breath down. I think this will transform your mood when you're finding a moment really challenging. Let's inhale slowly through our noses if we can. And at the tip top of your breath, you're just going to let a little slip out. Pause. Let a little more slip out. Pause. Finish that full exhale. Pause again, remain empty, then refill. Tiny release of air. Pause, be gentle in your face as you do. Release a bit more. Pause. Fully release your breath. Remain empty and pause. Inhale, try that again. Soft release. Wait. Soft release. Wait. Full release. Pause. Normal breathing again. So 3 is easy to remember, right? 3-part breathing. So I'll do 3 that way, and then I flip-flop it. And I find this one even more fun. That's why I wanted to end with it. So this one, we go in the 3 parts on the inhale. In, pause, full in, pause. Soft, tumbly, melty exhale. Feels so good. Slow, my friends, okay? We really have to go slow so we don't burst. All right, let's try. In through your nose, just a smidge. Pause. In a little more. Pause. Now slowly fill all the way up. Remain neutral as you pause. Nothing looks scary or clenched on your body. Full exhalation. In a little pause. A little more. Pause. All the way in. Easy exhale after the pause. One more round just like that. In a little more. Fully in. Pause. easy out. Full body breath. Returning to normal breathing. I don't know about you, but that just gets me in the happiest place. That is a perfect example of getting high on your own supply. Seriously, do you feel like a little, oh, all is fine, all is great? It's a miracle. I love breath work. Well done, yogis. Thank you for practicing that with me. Thank you for doing a little something different today and trying out some new postures, perhaps, some new movement patterns. I hope that you had a practice that made you feel very strong, very balanced, connected to your mind, body, and spirit, and maybe a little bit more open in certain places. My light treasures you. Thank you for allowing me to lead you, and have a beautiful weekend. Until we meet again, namaste.